organisms, such as bread and baby food, and it has been found in biomonitoring data from our bodies. Indeed, the majority of Europeans that undergo a urine test for glyphosate can expect the results to be positive. Furthermore, it's a pesticide that has led to ecosystem degradation in Europe and has a significant negative impact on biodiversity, a fact also accepted by EU regulatory agencies. Next, we want a full reform of the pesticide approval procedure. This is our second objective. Why? Because glyphosate is a symbol for everything that is wrong with our regulatory procedures. That is why we're also asking for a reform of these procedures, to ensure that assessments in the process are objective, transparent, and independent, as is required by EU pesticide legislation. What has happened with glyphosate has occurred with other pesticides before, and it will happen again if we don't take action and to change the system. Finally, we want the EU to set mandatory reduction targets for pesticide use across all member states, leading us towards a pesticide-free future. So let me outline why this objective is important to us. Today we have a Sustainable Use Directive on pesticides. It requires that pesticides should only be used when all other methods have failed, and it mandates EU member states to establish concrete measures and objectives to reduce overall pesticide use. But sadly, member states are currently not sufficiently implementing the directive, and the European Commission has yet to evaluate its effect. We call for the directive to be strengthened by setting EU-level targets, accompanied by support measures for farmers to effectively reduce pesticide use. This is important because in addition to glyphosate, more than 500 other pesticide substances are currently authorised for use in the EU. When toxic pesticides are withdrawn from the market or their use is restricted, the pesticide industry is usually quick to replace them with other chemical substances. And the chemicals used in pesticides can affect all organisms and the environment they live in and depend upon, with potentially serious ecological consequences. Ultimately, this puts essential ecosystem services such as pollination, nutrient cycling, soil fertility, and paradoxically, also natural processes of pest control at serious risk. So these are the three objectives that 1.3 million citizens stand behind. This European Citizens' Initiative collected the required statements of support in less than 5 months. Less than 5 months. This has never been achieved before. It's a real record. It was possible in part thanks to an incredible coalition of over 100 civil society organisations, ranging from unions to farmers' associations, victim groups to environmental protection NGOs, and so many more. But not only. At the heart of this ECI is citizens themselves. They were the key driver, and it would not have been possible without citizens' engagement. In fact, over 250,000 signatures were collected outside of schools, of shops, in parks, by citizens in their neighbourhoods, in towns and countrysides across Europe. Let me take a moment to share some images of the signature collection. So, as you can see, a lot of work. This success shows that European citizens want action, specifically on glyphosate and more generally on pesticides. European citizens have placed their trust in European institutions and in the tool of the European Citizens' Initiative itself. We ask the Commission to take us seriously. European citizens are concerned, and our concerns are legitimate. The European public have spoken through the Parliament, through the ECI, and through multiple public opinion polls showing that a clear majority want a ban on glyphosate. European policy making should exemplify the greatest standard of democratic governance, and the policy process surrounding glyphosate has failed to meet this standard. Since summer of 2016, when the Commission extended the licence for this controversial weed killer without a qualified majority, citizens have rallied to make their voices heard right here in the corridors of power of Brussels. European citizens have tried to engage this Commission time and time again since that summer, and now we're appealing at the highest level possible through the European Citizens' Initiative. However, despite our clear success, the Commission has not changed its approach to the issue, nor has it attempted to find an acceptable solution. Member States are increasingly saying no to glyphosate, and the Commission has an opportunity to show real leadership and propose a ban. That is a non-renewal of glyphosate. That is what European citizens are asking for. Political decisions